Okay, so without knowing any of your background and not knowing the history of your experience of working out and what diet you're doing now, if I was just to write out a blind diet for you, what I would do is I would start you off with about 5 meals a day, and I would put you on 6 ounces of meat per meal. That could be either chicken or red meat. If you're gonna do red meat, I always suggest going with ground meat. It's cheaper, it's easier to eat, but get the leanest ground meat you could get. You said kilograms, so I'm assuming you probably live in Europe or somewhere on that side of the world. I'm not sure, but I live in America, so our measuring systems are different. So I would go with about 6 ounces of meat, and then I would do the leanest you can get. So 90-10 is good, but if you could do like a 94-6, that's even better. And then measure it when it's raw, because when you cook it, you're going to lose volume from the moisture and the water evaporating out of the meat when you cook it. And then from there, I would go with something that's not going to upset your stomach or cause you any gastro distress. So like jasmine rice, white rice. I avoid brown rice, to be honest. A lot of people say brown rice, but the shell in the brown rice has a lot of fiber in it, and it can upset your stomach. Not only that, it's just not very enjoyable to eat, but the white rice absorbs faster, and your body's able to digest it quicker, and you're able to utilize it faster. So I would start there. You could do eggs in the morning if you want to do that instead of meat and rice. And then you could also do probably some Greek yogurt, shooting for about 30 grams of protein from the Greek yogurt. So you could do, let's say, 6 egg whites with half a cup of oatmeal for meal 1. And then you can do 2 meals of red meat and rice at 6 ounces of red meat and 6 ounces of rice for 2 meals. Your 4th meal, you could do 30 grams worth of protein from Greek yogurt with a banana and an orange. And then your 5th meal, you can do like chicken breast with a vegetable, whichever vegetable you want to do for dinner. Keep that meal around 6 to 8 ounces for that one. And it's a long going process. About every 3 weeks, your body's going to adapt to your diet. So you can't continuously do the same thing. Your metabolism is going to slow down, and you're going to stop seeing results like you will in the beginning. So after about 3 weeks, I would increase your meals. So after 3 weeks, increase your eggs. If you're doing 5 eggs, go to 6 eggs. If you're going to do 6 ounces of meat for those 3 meals, like for your 2 red meat meals, if you do those, go from 6 ounces to 7 ounces on those 2. After 3 weeks after that, increase your last meal by 2 ounces. 3 weeks after that, increase your first meal, and continue to increase your protein. Your carbohydrates don't really need to be altered. That's just your energy to get you through the day, get you through your workout. Protein takes more effort to burn down. It takes more calories to consume it and digest it, and it doesn't spike insulin or anything else. So that's going to be your absolute best friend. When you go into a diet, you also have to think about your mindset, right? Because you're going to get hungry and you're going to see food as a distraction. A lot of people, the problem is they run to food for comfort, and they run to food for their problems. So when they get tired and exhausted, they want to eat. Whenever you get worn out, had a long day, you want to feel rewarded by giving yourself something to like kind of say, hey, congratulations for making it through the day, for a lack of a better term. And that's the wrong type of mindset. You can't think of it like that. I'm not saying, oh, look at food for fuel. You can still season your food and get enjoyment out of your food, but the biggest issue with people is when they get stressed out, they want to turn to food. So you're going to have to figure out why you started eating the way you ate to get to where you are. Is it out of boredom? Is it out of anger? Is it out of stress? Is it out of just the necessity of having it available to you? What is your triggers? Why do you have those triggers? And how do you stop those from occurring? And while you're figuring that out, don't give yourself cheat meals. Do not do cheat meals. The biggest problem that people do is they give themselves cheat meals. That's like taking cigarettes away from a smoker and then giving him a pack every Sunday, or giving him a pack every Saturday. Here, you can't have this no more, but here's a taste. Here's a taste, right? As you stay on your diet and you continue to do this without having any cheat meals, the thoughts and the cravings and the urges to eat bad food will go away. You'll stop looking at food and affiliating food with certain flavors and certain like things like, oh man, I really want pizza. Then, oh man, I need some carbs. Oh, I want barbecue. No, I just need more protein, right? You'll start affiliating food with the foods that you're eating. And then as you start becoming better at controlling your appetite and cravings, and those cravings turn from I want to eat this to I'm just hungry and want to eat my food, you're going to be getting it under control for the long term. That's going to be helping you in the long term. Like I said, don't set yourself up for like, ooh, on Friday or ooh, Saturday night to Saturday night. Then what happens is you start looking at food as an escape, right? Man, I just got to make it to Sunday. I just got to get to Sunday. I just got to get to Sunday. Man, I just got to get to Sunday. There is no Sunday, right? There is no Sunday, right? You have to get your eating habits and your self-control in check. And you have to figure out what your triggers are and how to correct those before you can allow yourself to go back to having something that you know is going to spark it. Because the biggest issue with most people is when they taste something, they can't taste it for the flavor and be like, I'm good with that. What they end up doing is they taste it. I want to taste it again. I want to taste it again. Then they want to get full off of that flavor. They can't just have a bite. They have to become full off of that flavor, and then that leads to overeating and overindulging. Then you start developing a bad habit with food. So if you are going to go out to eat, and let's say there is an occasion you can't get out of eating, right? You have to go to a birthday or a special event. There's going to be food. You can't bring you for whatever. Bring something with you to eat before. Spoil your own appetite. So eat your actual food 30 minutes before you go. If you can't do that, bring an orange, bring an apple. Eat an orange, eat an apple 30 minutes before you know you're going to be eating dinner. When you get that, in about 20 to 30 minutes, it's going to hit your system and it's going to fill you up and it's going to give you the feeling of being full. So when you go to eat whatever food you're going to be eating, it's going to make you not want to eat as much as you normally would eat. And also, if you're going to make a plate outside of your diet, make your plate, cut it in half. And do that. That way you know, okay, this is how much I normally eat, cut it in half. That's a good way to control your appetite. And if you can't just let it sit there, go throw it away. Go throw it in the yard. Give it to your dog. Make sure you do something with it that you cannot return to it whenever you eat that and be like, well, I'll just have a bite. I'll just have a bite. I'll just have a bite. And then you ate the whole thing. A tip for your cardio. You can do this. If you can do this every day at work or however your life is, if you're capable of doing it, after you eat, go on a 10-minute walk. Immediately after. Get up and go. Put your timer. Walk for 5 minutes. When that timer goes off, come right back. There's your 10 minutes. That's super simple and easy to do. It helps with insulin. It helps with your metabolic rate. It helps you absorb your food. It helps you digest your food. And it helps you actually raise your metabolism up. And it's training your body to use your food instead of storing your food. So that's an easy trick. And then if you want to do 30 minutes of cardio a day, it's better to break it up in 10 to 15-minute sessions than to do it all at one time and do it throughout the day, because you'll get multiple benefits from doing it throughout the day. If you do it one time for a long period of time, you only get those benefits of losing weight from that cardio and consuming the metabolic spike and your metabolism and everything that it does, raising your body's temperature. You only get it that one time. So if you could do it 2 to 3 times a day and split it up, even if you want to do an hour, that's fine. Do 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. You're going to get better results, and it's not going to be so hard on you to get that session in to be able to do it. You have to do it every time? No. Do you have to do it every day? No. But just remember, you getting up and going for that walk is going to help put you in the direction that you're trying to accomplish. And then making these small habits and these small changes and trying to work on your mental part of why you got to this place, how you got here, is going to make the difference of you being able to successfully accomplish your goals. And the thing about calories, I want to talk about this too. If you start off at 1,200 calories, your only option is to do more work, right? So if you're like, I'm going to do 1,200 calories a day, now your body's metabolism slows down, and now your body's maintaining on 1,200 calories a day. Are you going to drop to 1,000? You're going to drop to 800? You're going to drop to 600? What are you going to do to keep losing weight? Are you going to start spending 2 hours doing cardio? Are you going to spend 3 hours in the gym? No one wants to spend that long in the gym. Nobody, okay? Not even meatheads want to spend that long in the gym. So what you need to do is you need to get your metabolism up by eating the right foods. Sweet potatoes for carbs, russet potatoes, white rice, jasmine rice, if you want, brown rice, oatmeal, low fibrous, low digestive bloating foods. So those carbohydrates will prevent you from bloating and getting gastro distress. The more gastro distress you experience from eating food, the more the food has to ferment, the more bloated and gassy you get, the harder it's going to be for you to digest your food and absorb it. The harder for you to eat your diet. So stick to low gas foods like that. Avoid I wouldn't do broccoli, to be honest, and cauliflower, because those right there, they're high gas foods, and those are going to upset your stomach and cause gastro distress. The more bloating you experience, the harder it's going to be for you to digest your food. So you want to avoid those high fibrous, high bloating, gassy foods that happen in your system. So anyway, so you want to increase your food, not decrease it. If you can get to 2,000 calories, 2,500 calories, that's where I normally like to start people off at, is around 2,500 calories, 2,000 calories a day. And I like to see what their bodies do. And if you can lose weight on 2,500 calories a day, stay there. Don't adjust it. Keep at that calorie count until your weight comes down, slows down to 1 pound a week. When you slow down to 1 pound a week, increase your protein and then increase your output, right? Don't eat less, eat more. Increase your protein. And when you increase your protein by 1 or 2 ounces a meal, or 2 meals, or 3 meals, what's going to happen is your metabolism is going to pick up. And now you're going to have the energy to do more work. I always opt for doing more work, not eating less food. So, and more work does not mean spending 2 hours on cardio. It means you can do harder cardio. If you start off doing walks, do walks. Do the most mild walk you can do to lose the most weight you can lose doing that. Then pick the pace up. And then turn that walk into a more aggressive walk by doing an incline on the treadmill. And then do a minute on incline, a minute flat, a minute on incline, a minute on flat, just with a mild walk. And then whenever that stops producing results, go from a light jog to a walk, a light jog to a walk, or go to the recumbent bike, or go, like you said, you like to do the cycling, go on a mild pace, just a smooth pace, and then ramp the intensity up for 30 seconds, go smooth for a minute. 30 seconds, increase the intensity, smooth, cool for a minute. Increase, decrease, increase, until you can just go hard for 10 minutes, right? And you can ramp it up. So I always opt to do more to burn more. Because whenever you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm happy with the way I look. I don't want to diet so hard. I don't want to cardio so hard. And you're eating 1,000 calories a day. Everyone knows about McDonald's. A Big Mac's 550 calories. A large fry is 550 calories. That's 1,100 calories. One meal, you're already clear over your calories for the day, right? But if you can get your metabolism to burn 2,000 to 3,000 a day, just from your metabolic rate and your muscle mass, when you decide to back off the cardio, you can bring the carbs down, or the calories down from 3,000 to 2,500, or 2,500 to 2,000, and that'll offset the cardio. And then when you do go out to eat and you want to eat something that's outside the norm, then what you can do is you can just watch your calories. Well, I'm allowed 2,000 calories a day. So I'm going to eat this meal, which is 700 calories, and that will leave me another 1,300 calories for 2 more meals throughout the day. And that produces long-term results. And then during the week or during the day, if you can do 70 to 80% of your meals that are clean, like diet meals, and the other 20 to 30% fun meals, you will maintain and keep your results. So what I mean by percentage, if you take all the food you eat in a week, okay, every day, so 5 meals a day, let's just say, and then you times that by 7 days, you take that number and there's your percent, and then you figure out what 70% is at. So if you're eating 10 meals a week, 7 meals would be 70%. I don't know the math off the top of my head. You're going to have to figure that one out. And then whenever you get done and you get down to the point where you just want to maintain your look, that's how you approach it. 70 to 80% of your food throughout the week needs to be clean food, like you're dieting. And the other 20 to dinner, breakfast, going out on the weekend with your friends, a spur moment of the week, let's go out and have a few drinks and go eat. That could be your 20, 30%. But you have to figure out what your 70 to 80% is to be able to get to that when you hit your goals. But in the very beginning of all of it, what you need to do is you need to cut the cheat meals completely out, and you need to pick your calories up to around 2,000. Because if you're 50 kilograms overweight, I think that's like 102 pounds, 104 pounds overweight, you shouldn't have to go so dramatic to lose weight. You shouldn't have to. You can pick that up to about 2,000 of 2,500, and it's going to give you more energy for your workouts and more energy for your cardio, and it's going to build your muscle mass up more. Because after you get them losing this weight, you're going to want more muscle mass, because that's going to help you maintain your look with less effort outside the gym, because your muscle mass is going to burn more calories naturally. So I'm not sure what all I missed in this and what all I might have left out, but if there's anything that you want to more know depth or questions about, please leave a comment and I'll make you another video if need be.